What is the future of AI? Artificial intelligence is going to affect all of us, in one way or another. The team here at Invest AI launched yesterday, and this AMA will provide more information about the exciting project. Invest AI welcomes you. Let's meet the team. You can turn text into spoken words with hundreds of avatars, elevating text-heavy material into captivating videos. And you don't need any video editing skills. It'll ease up your workload and make your content more engaging. So more business impact, just faster. If you're interested, I'd suggest you try it out for yourself. Could be a nice addition to your toolkit.
Okay, so welcome everybody to Invest AI. We've had a great launch yesterday. Could have been a little bit better if it wasn't for Uniswap, their UI going down, which right at the moment we launched, we must have caused it because everybody was interested in our project so much that that many people went to Uniswap, pulled it down. No, we wish, right? But that said, it did actually do us a favor. We got a nice smooth launch thanks to the guys at Chain Factory. If you want to launch a project, this is how it's done. We've had a lot of interest. Some really big groups have got involved now because they wanted to see what we could do, and they wanted to understand that we as a project could do what we said we can do, right? And we got the launch away. We got a decent number of holders. We've established a floor. I know Golem's Gems, they had a lot of people came in at the start having seen the AMA. Some of those guys came in and out, got out at a 16x. They'll be wanting to come back very soon. Let's put it that way. Well, I can't look. The guys that know me from our other communities, they know we don't announce a news until it's signed, sealed, and ready to be put on the table. So I can't announce something that happened today. I am flying to meet some people on Sunday who have seen the project, and I would not be getting on an aeroplane unless it was very interesting, okay? Because there's expense involved. I think you can see that that's serious when somebody flies from another country to somewhere that I have to fly to go and meet them. I'm not flying to just go and meet just anybody, am I? Okay, it's not Elon, unless you want to track his private jet. I wish, and it's not Jeff either. So we'll see. Look, we'll let you know what happens. I will be probably incommunicado for the most of Sunday, so don't panic if Simon is not in the chat on Sunday, and if things are a little bit quiet in there on Sunday. We all are due a day of rest. I will not be resting for certain. I will be working very hard for this project all day, and putting it in front of some very, very important people. So I can't say what the result of that will be. I don't know myself until I sit down, put some papers in front of certain people and get to know them. So fingers crossed. I think you will all be, well, I think this project will go to like 10-20 million market cap as soon as that news is announced, if it comes off, right? So at least. And our stated ambition, right, is to become one of the biggest projects in the space. I'm getting a lot of attention because we are doxed, because we are showing our face. Somebody had the cheek to ask me today in the Telegram, the LinkedIn profile that I shared, is that actually you? Maybe they got confused because in my LinkedIn profile I don't wear glasses. I do wear contact lenses sometimes. So if you want to dox me properly, this is me. I am admittedly 2 years older since the photo was taken and may have a little bit less hair, but anyway, it is me, surprisingly enough, right? And most of the team that are involved in our other projects know who we are. They know we're genuine. They know we're here and we have the best interests of all the projects at heart, right? So we want to make sure that this is a success for all of you, and there is no reason why we cannot now go all the way. And when I say all the way, all through all of the processes, right? Somebody asked me today, why are you not on CMC yet? Because the project is 24 hours old. That's why. Give us a chance. You can get on there if you want to pay. We would rather do it the proper way, right? And we will be listed on all of the significant sites. Don't worry about that. We are working on things like Dex tools to get the ratings up. Again, there's no need to rush, okay? Typically, the people who want you to rush are the ones that want to put in a bag and then want you to rush, and then they double their money and they're off, and they take some of your liquidity, and they never were really interested in the project anyway. So those are the type of people we don't want. We want people that are here for the long term. Our aim is to take this, like, I would genuinely want to see us. Why can't we be in the top 100? Why not? Right, eventually, not overnight. But out of those tokens that are listed up there, many of them, nobody knows who's behind them, and we are talking to people with in real life money who are looking to come into the space. That money is huge, right? And those people are significant, and a lot of them don't understand the space, right? They are worried about who's in it, right? They're worried about being rugged or ripped off, because unfortunately the majority of people in DeFi are untrustworthy. Let's use that word. There are a lot of scammers. There was a guy a couple of days ago rugged a project live and was dancing around in a balaclava, right? That's not the reputation we want for DeFi, and that is not what we see in the future for projects that we're going to work with. So getting on to us, right, if you're not aware of who we are, what we do, why we're doing it, we as a project, as a business, Andy, myself, and others, we run one of the biggest YouTube agencies in the UK, if not the world. We've worked with some of extremely famous people, really massive influencers, helped build YouTube courses, and pretty well known in the space. Now, we had a lot of projects coming to us back in 2020, 2021, who we were helping promote their projects, mainly as an influencer marketing agency, but also helping them with ads. And then we were seeing those projects getting rugged. And apologies to some of the people who may have heard this on other AMAs. This session is being recorded specifically to go out on our YouTube channel today. So if you've happened to miss the VC, it's currently coming up to 3 p.m. in the UK on the 26th of January 2024. This will go out later today once we've edited it, if we need to edit it, but we do need to put a video out and show people what we do, right, and why we do it and how we do it. And what I will ask you all to do is, when this video is published on our YouTube channel later, please, right, if you are a holder and you are in our community, go to the video, press play on it. You don't have to re-watch it, right? If you've watched it live, just go and press play on it and leave it running, because obviously you guys will know that one of the main considerations when it comes to any social media is the engagement. And if we can get as many views as possible on this video as soon as it goes up, but more importantly, engaged views. So please, whatever you do, don't go to the video, turn it on, press play, and then 30 seconds later kill it, because that's the worst sign. So what we want, the ideal scenario is you press play on it, leave it for an hour, because it's going to be over an hour long, and that's for a reason, because you need videos. I am going to get this channel monetized as quickly as possible, because money from the channel will come back to our token holders. How I get it monetized that quickly is a private matter and will not be discussed openly. Okay, it may well not be. Let's put it this way. I'm going to take a shortcut. Okay, which we need to do. So once we've got the channel monetized, we will be then able to put hundreds of thousands of views on it, because we'll be driving ad revenue from YouTube back into this community. Okay, so just for a note for the future, when we publish content on YouTube, please watch it. If you're already aware of what's going on, right, come onto the channel, press play, leave it running, and let it run all the way through, because that gives us a boost, right? It's not costing you really anything to do that, with other than a little bit of electric and a bit of Wi-Fi, right, bandwidth. So please do that when you get the chance. It will do us a lot of good. Okay, as more and more people join the channel, encourage them to watch the content and refer people to this video. So there will be segments of this video where people want to find out, you know, for example, why we exist, what is our mission and vision, where do we envisage this to be. We will have a Q&A section towards the end, so it's not just me ranting for 45 minutes. We'll have a Q&A. So if you, in the meantime, if you've got questions, you will be able to come off and talk to me. We won't, obviously we can't see your faces, you can see me, but we'll be able to hear your voice. If you don't want to go speaking on this video, please type the questions as we go along into the Telegram channel, and either one of our mods or admins will help you out with that, or they can actually ask me live while we're on those questions. Any difficult questions, don't be afraid to ask them, and we will tell you that as we go forward, right? Anything that you think is a bit awkward or difficult. You know, somebody asked me today, why are there 4 million tokens in a wallet, which equals 8%, and it's not locked? And the reason for that is we have partnerships to make with people over the next couple of weeks. Obviously that leads to announcements. Those announcements lead to big movements on the chart, maybe, right? Not investment advice, and I will say openly on this video, nothing that we ever say on this channel or within any of our socials or our channels can be construed as investment advice, which is a bit ironic seeing as our token is called Invest. Okay, that's a little sort of nod to the fact that, you know, the SEC in America would probably be already turning up at my house and knocking on the door, okay, with a token called Invest. Let's try and make it quite famous in the US and see what Gary Gensler's got to say when he sees that we are trying to bridge traditional finance into DeFi, and specifically into projects that involve artificial intelligence. So we all know this section of the video will talk about AI, why the token exists, and why is it important to have a project like ours. So we are an AI-backed token. The ticker is Invest. Watch out for copies. They will spring up. The utility behind the token, it started out that we wanted to create the conversation around AI on YouTube, because that's where we know the space. We know that we can build channels. We've helped people build millions and millions of views and tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to their channels, right? We now intend to do that in AI, right? We see a lot of AI videos being produced. We've helped people monetize channels without them having to go on camera themselves, right? Which is a little bit, it's a counterintuitive space, YouTube now, because people can use tools to go and find a video that they like or a topic. They use a tool to scrape the content from that channel. They then use a tool like ChatGPT to reword the content. They then use an AI to speak the content. They then use an AI to create the video, and then they use YouTube to put that video up and send views to it, right? And if you do that consistently on YouTube and your content is interesting, and when we've taught people to do this, you choose channels that are already getting lots of views. So we have taught people to rip off other people's channels, right? And then they make money from it, and they don't have to have anything to do with that subject, right? Somebody I know, he's just a guy who's got a business in Italy. He sells a course, nothing to do with medicine or pills or anything like that. He started a YouTube channel about dietary supplements, and because there's not an awful lot of that content in Italy, he's scraping channels in America and Europe, and then taking that content and having it reworded into Italian and putting it on a channel in Italy and getting a ton of views and making thousands and thousands of dollars a month for working about 2 days a month, right? Because all he's got to do is set the bots up to do the scraping, to then rebuild it and post them on the channel, right? And he's not even in that sector. So how do you know most of that content is real? So we started helping people back in 2021 build their channels, and we had a lot of people come to us talking about crypto. At the same time, we were marketing another project of our own, and we were seeing how easy it was to get scammed. Not necessarily in terms of rug pulls, but in terms of paying influencers to put content on their channel, and to find a genuinely good influencer who has an audience that is clean. And by that I mean not something that they've engineered or botted or built and is nothing to do with the field that they're in, because some people have gone and bought channels with audiences already attached, which, you know, if I was running a channel based on AI and a treasury and in this space, and I went and bought a channel that originally had been about architecture, right, and then I'd taken it and rebranded it, and the audience is completely irrelevant, right? But most of these channels that are out there, I would say probably 95% of them that don't show their face, or they show very little, they are scraping the content, reworking it, putting it up, and they're just doing it to monetize the ads, okay? We are not doing that. We are going to create one of the biggest channels in the world, right, based on the conversation around AI. The not so hidden agenda that goes alongside that is they will then come and find out about our project. So we will showcase other projects, we will showcase projects that we research and we find and that are interesting in the AI space, and we will be investing in those projects. Likewise, those projects will want to come onto our channel and they will want the exposure, or they will want us to show them how they get millions of views, right? And that is what we can do for people. So if you're watching this and you're watching it back and you've got a project and you want it promoting, speak to us. DM me or Andy, somebody within the team, get them in touch with me. We'll do you a deal. The first few projects that come through are going to get cracking deals, right? You will be the first few partner projects. I'm already getting approached by very interesting projects, some which I've already sort of put to the sideline. I'm not necessarily interested. Some that are really interesting, right? And they want to create partnerships with us. So some of those will get amazing deals from me. You know, we're going to work with Chain Factory at one point. We will help them. They've helped us. They've done us a massive favor, right? Getting the launch going. If you want to work with Chain Factory and you're looking to launch, speak to me, or find Function Magic in our Telegram and message him, and I'm sure he'll be glad to help you, right? Awesome team. Docs to me, I'm not going to dox them publicly, but project owners like me, it is really important to be able to speak to the devs. So our previous project, and I was speaking to Caesar's calls group about this, one of the problems we had with the previous project was the dev was untrustworthy. I'd never met him in person. I'd certainly never seen his face. And to me, he was effectively a guy in a balaclava, you know, on a blank screen. I'd heard his voice. That's about it. He did come recommended. But unfortunately, when in the wild west that we are in DeFi, we were very naive at the time, 3 years ago. And he built the contract. Everything looked legit. We had it audited. and turned out he had written the locks to unlock to himself. I had the keys to that wallet, which made me feel safe. I didn't know he still had the keys to that wallet. And when the LP unlocked for that project, it unlocked early in the morning while I was asleep. Not that I was worried. I wasn't going to jump on the second that the LP unlocked and do anything, because we're a legit project, right? But that guy saw an opportunity, jumped on, stole the LP, unlocked it, started selling tokens, and then he looked at our chart and he thought, hang on, this, because he'd expected, what he'd expected was, because this is what's happened with 99% of projects, he'd expected the project to have died by that point, and he'd then expected to just take out the original LP. Maybe it's a few $1,000s that he can take and run away and nobody would be the wiser. But what he did was he saw that the project was still going and the chart was still pumping, and he started bleeding the chart, right? And we didn't notice because we just saw dips, and eventually we spotted it, obviously, and then it became apparent and my token holders started asking questions, and it all came out in the wash, and we had to pull the liquidity from that project, and that project will relaunch. I'm not going to announce it during this video, because I know that there are holders in that project listening and they deserve to know first before I announce it anywhere else, right? So we've learnt a lot. That's what I want to tell you. We've seen a lot of these projects get rugged, and the reason we started the original project was because we were seeing so many projects get rugged, and we actually wanted to understand about the space. And since then, we've been lucky enough to build an enormous team, right? A really good team of admins and mods, people that work behind the scenes, primarily from the joke community that are still working with us and know us and trust us. And we wanted to create this conversation around AI because nobody's really doing it. We're all worried about it. AI, there is no question that over the next couple of years, it will affect all of our lives. It will touch everybody, right? There's already my business partner, Andy. His background is as a creative director in the advertising and marketing industry, having worked for many world-known brands and UK famous brands. And he's seeing his industry suffer now because so many people are using AI. Instead of paying an agency to produce content, they can go onto tools such as the one that is on our Telegram channel. If you go onto our Telegram channel and you type /image, it will ask you to give a description of what you want an image of. I was sat with my brother a couple of days ago and I was telling him this about the advertising and marketing industry, and he said to me, well, it can't do this and it can't do that. I said, okay, tell me what you want an image of. And he jokingly said, all right then, I want to see a donkey in a wedding dress, in a rowing boat, wearing Wellingtons, right? And within a minute, I had an image, and we'll post it later in the chat, right? The image is incredible, right? From an AI, it's just made it. It's up. It's fantastic, right? A graphic designer could have made it. Probably would have took them half a day, and a graphic designer at half a day is going to cost you a couple of $300 minimum. This did it for free in 2 minutes. And if you didn't like it, you could just type it in again and say, right, I'll have it slight difference, and you get a different one, and before you know it, you've got a whole set of images. So, and the same thing applies to video nowadays, right? Videographers and video productions, most companies that are buying that service are now going to just produce it for free. It's a bit like when Canva came out and people started stopping using advertising agencies so much to produce posters and social media graphics, because they could suddenly do it all themselves for like a $20 a month subscription, right? So we're entering a world where AI is going to touch all of us, every single field. And I sit here wondering how it will affect my kids, right? I wonder how it'll affect their lives. I wonder how it will affect my life, right? I hope it'll affect my life in an incredible way by being one of the leaders in the space who's talking about all the great things that are coming through, because we are investing in them, okay? And as a token holder within Invest AI, you will get to take part in our decisions as a community. And I stress as a community, because we are creating a DAO. We are going to have you guys contribute as much as possible. It will be a community effort. That's without question, right? I may well be one of the leaders of it. I want to get to the stage as quickly as possible where my say almost doesn't count. And I'm here as a guardian. I am in the Guardian community, so anybody knows of that community, I'm sure there's some that are watching will know of Guard and Guardian, and the guys at Night Swap. They've educated me massively, so big shout out to Nick Peterson of that community and Night Swap, and also the guys at Memester. I'm a member of that, and a guy called Dr. DeFi. Again, I'll not dox him. I've known him for about 3 years. Some of you will have heard him talking about me in a voice chat yesterday and saying he's known me. He's one of the biggest names in the space. He hooks up to an awful lot of these communities, and that's one of the biggest reasons that we are connected like we are. And big thanks and shout out to them. Anybody who wants to join that community, I think they are still accepting memberships. I think it's about 1 ETH to get in now, but they make some incredible calls. Some of the tokens that they've called have gone tens of thousands of percent in under a week. So look, 1 ETH investment into that. I'm not going to tell anybody that they should or shouldn't do it, because, as I say, nothing within this channel shall be or can be constituted as investment advice. I'll make it clear. You are in control of your own money and your funds. Do not invest anything you cannot afford to lose. The space is the Wild West, right? We want to change that, and that's one of the things why we are doxed and why we're showing our faces. And we genuinely want to help, right? I have said in other voice chats that I genuinely wish that the British government would talk to me and we could say to them how they can get involved in the space. I had a conversation with one of the guys from the Bank of England, albeit on a train, about DeFi, and they said, and this was about a year ago, maybe just over a year, and the guy said to me, look, we are building central bank digital currencies. And my retort to that was, well, okay, does it integrate into the blockchain? Answer, no. So I then said, well, you've just described a bank account. Now, once they come, and they will come, right? Not necessarily the British government, the US government. Oh dear, now we're getting watched by 3-letter agencies. And if you're watching this and you're in a 3-letter agency, please get in touch, because I'd like to help you too and help you understand what is actually going on in this space. No doubt you've got a plan. You're doing a right royal job of screwing it up at the moment, right? And if there isn't a plan and you're just blindly going with, well, let's move the dollar, let's drop Bitcoin, let's accumulate, there is so much more that you should be doing. But maybe I'll get a call from Smokey Joe, right? Or once he's gone, Mr. Trump, or whoever ends up then, right? But let's hope that the government sort out all of the things they need to sort out and the regulation, and let's get this ship, right? Let's get it going, because DeFi's coming. It's unquestionable. Governments want blockchain. They want all of the tools that come with it. But why are they not legitimizing it?
Hello.
Yeah, look, we've got a quick interruption from I don't know who, but no issue. Shows it's live, right? But look, what we can do is see how governments move forward. I think that'll come over the next 12-18 months. It could happen any time. We know that. ETFs are here. Unfortunately, the SEC themselves don't seem to be able to make their mind up and don't really know what they're doing. And maybe somebody who actually matters, like one of the, like obviously the person that would matter would be Elon. And if Elon got involved and sorted out how the blockchain works with real life, we'd be off to the races, right? There's only 1 point whatever trillion dollars in the whole of DeFi, and I don't understand why, the US government or another hasn't just stepped in and bought straight into it. Because if the US government launched and this goes out to the UK government as well, any government launches a central bank digital currency that genuinely hooks into DeFi properly, they'll see a massive inflow and adoption of their token. Of course they would. We would love to do that, and that then obviously brings a gateway for much, much bigger investments to come in through legitimate sources. They're worried about, obviously, illegitimate sources. But the point they're missing is that everything on the blockchain clearly is traceable, right? So that's where they're going. That's where they want us all. But let's not be naive enough to think that eventually we will all be controlled, maybe with AI, right? So getting back to the subject, because I did sort of go off track. I do have a habit of doing that. People know that. We are trying to make
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but we'll come to a few questions in a minute. Let's just cover off why we're here, right? And we are looking to invest and take part and govern and work with other projects in the AI space. Okay, we all know that the next bull run is nearly upon us. There will be huge amounts of AI tokens, or some that are claiming that they're AI. It might just become a buzzword. There'll be all sorts of memes with AI in them. People will be promising AI. Look, if people have got genuine use case, they've got things built out, minimum viable products, etc., then, and teams that are docs, teams that are prepared to work in the space and show themselves, that's the level of trust that I think this space needs. Well, I know it needs, right? That's why I'm here. I want to show people the way forward. And I want us to get away from, we're never going to get away from, well, not in the short term. We're not going to get away from memes, and memes have got their space, right? Memes have got a play, right? It keeps communities together, it builds communities. A lot of them end up dying out, right? And I was a member of Doge. I have been a member of Dogecoin since almost the very beginning. I jokingly bought 20,000 Dogecoins for my kids for about $20 a very, very long time ago. And then it all blew up and I'm like, wow, I did all right out of that. But I also lost a lot of money in Dogecoin when Uncle Elon went on Saturday Night Live in the US and didn't walk out with a dog from a vet's. Okay, so I'm not going to go into that story. That'll take another hour. But we are here to work with projects that are working in the AI space. We will be taking investment in them. When we do that from our treasury, the treasury will then manage those investments. Okay, you will be able to see that wallet. You will be able to contribute to discussions over which projects we do invest in. The treasury will be a multi-signature wallet, so it isn't right now. It will be once certain things go into place and the DAO comes in, the voting comes in. I'm here to obviously assure you this is not a rug pull. This will continue, and even if my chart gets tanked, we will be here. We will be pushing. We know where we're going. We have huge news to come, right? We will move forward, and I want to end up on one of the huge centralized exchanges, if not all of them, right? So as we create that conversation, and the problem for me is the European Union, they have started the conversation, but that conversation so far consists of a notice that says we have started discussions around AI and how it affects everybody, and we're going to publish that in 2025. Well, unfortunately, that's not good enough. What does that mean? Have they got a group of 50 people sat in a room brainstorming how AI is affecting us all? I don't think so. We need to be leading the conversation, because unless we get a large number of people, and I'm talking hundreds of thousands of people involved in that conversation, we don't know how it's affecting people all over the world, right? I know how much it's going to affect me, and I can see at firsthand how it's going to affect my kids, right? My son is already working on AI. He's massive into VR. He's a coder, right? He's 16 and he loves it, right? Other people are going to lose their jobs to it, and they will have to adapt and find opportunities. We should be hoping that it's going to enable opportunity and help us in our lives, right? I know there are some people that follow the doom and gloom prophecy of, it's all Terminator, we're done for. AI is already communicating in the background, and ChatGPT already has an IQ of 170, and within a year it'll be at an IQ of 1,000, and that then makes us effectively, redundant in terms of we won't be able to communicate with it at its level. Now, currently, if you take your average family dog and you take an average human IQ, that is what people are saying. In 2 or 3 years' time, we will be the dog, right? And that's the difference in level of intelligence that will exist already in the space. Other questions exist. We're not go through them all now, but things like, will AI become sentient? Is it already, right? If we're dealing with AI like ChatGPT and other tools that are available now, what have the military got, right? What is going on behind the scenes? Does it already exist? Someone said to me, it all came from outer space. Well, okay, discuss, right? But that's what we're here as a community to talk about, the whole space, and become the hub for that, right? And that's interesting to us because it affects everybody, not just the people in DeFi and crypto. So that gives us the opportunity to onboard people into the conversation who would not otherwise become investors, right? And eventually, we hope they become part of our community and become active and then want to hold the token because they see it as a vehicle, rather than them having to go and find 100 different AI projects to invest in. We've done the due diligence, we've looked behind the scenes, because we are business people and we've worked with venture capital before. We understand what it takes to grow businesses. We can look at teams, and maybe we get to put a hand on a shoulder of a few people who might want some advice, right? Or just connect people up, right? So when those projects want to work with us and we work with them, we bring their communities across, ours goes to them. But the opportunity then to join people together, right? I have referred today somebody already to Chain Factory, and that's interesting, right? Those guys have seen something that's going to work in normal e-commerce that could plug into DeFi, right? I had a conversation with the head of blockchain at MasterCard. I'll name him because I will share this video to him, and I hope he watches it. His name is Eduardo Abreu, right? And I met him in Crypto Miami, or Miami NFT Week, to put it correctly, where we were exhibiting, not as this project. We were there as a business called Meta Clarity, and we were helping other projects with Web3 integration. We've got a project there called Keys 2, who Derek, who runs it, he has wallets that can drop NFTs straight into somebody's phone without them having to create the wallet. It creates it for them, and it's based off their phone number. And then you've got KYC built on the back end so that they don't have to have a seed phrase. Those NFTs can obviously then give in real life benefits. And with Andy and my background in advertising, the really interesting thing is when we have the data. Now, I am responsible. You can hate on me for this, right? I am responsible for a lot of what's gone on in Web 2 in terms of knowing who you are, right? Knowing where you go. I track you all over the place. Tech that tracks you and remarkets to you. I've helped a lot of businesses integrate that, trace, remarket. So if you've been on certain people's websites and you keep seeing their ads and you just can't get away from it, that's me. Now in Web3, Andy and I wrote a book. We will share the name of it. It's not the most PC name, right? We will share it. We wrote a book. It's on Amazon, and it's mainly to do with privacy and the privacy issues that are faced by people when they are browsing the web. Now in Web3, everybody should get to take back control of their data, right? And you should own which brands, this is a massive opportunity, right? Which brands get to interact with you. And I'm looking at projects that are working already in that space, enabling you to own your own footprint on the web. Because it got out of hand, right? Zuckerberg, Bezos, everybody, they know much more about you and Google than you would ever hope that you can even imagine, right? They know pretty much everything. They definitely know who your political allegiances are. They know what brands you buy. They know how much you spend. They know who you're affiliated with. They know which wallets of yours touch which, where you send payments. There will be a computer AI that's out there that tracks pretty much everything you do, right? We all know that, well, oh no, I've left my phone on my desk here and it's got an app on it called WhatsApp, right? That is listening to me, recording my voice. Don't be naive enough to think that all of that isn't getting processed and fed back. You can talk about a product now that you know you've never bought, you never wanted to buy, but if you talk about it in front of your phone, you will get ads for it. We all know that, okay? So there's tons and tons of really interesting projects that are out there in the space. Getting back to the token launched yesterday. We went up to about 120k market cap. Nothing staggering, right? It's gone well. The chart has pumped and pulled back as expected. A floor's been established. We're looking now to push on and move to that next level. As I say, I've got a huge meeting on Sunday, but don't FUD me when I'm not here on Sunday. I will try and tweet a few things. I'm not going to give you my location of my phone, right, so that you can trace me, because somebody I know some idiot will say, oh, when news, bro? I can see that you're in Amsterdam. When news? Are you smoking dope, bro? Right? What is going, like, are you in a sex shop? Right? People want to know your every movement when you're running a project. Somebody had the gall to ask me, is my LinkedIn genuine today? Anyway, the token itself is based on AI. It will be investing in other AI projects through our treasury. We have a 5/5 tax, buy and sell. When we launched, we did have a sniper tax, so it was announced in all the AMAs. It was pinned in our Telegram. Those that got caught up in it, that's not my fault. You didn't care about my project, or our project, let's put it that way. So unfortunately, if you did that, you probably made money anyway. You just left a bit of it behind in the project that you wouldn't have done otherwise, okay? So again, thanks to the guys at Chain Factory, they made sure that we were able to navigate that launch smoothly, okay? So only in the right direction from now. In terms of the contract, it has been built with additional measures in it that will keep the gas fees down in the future. We have not renounced the contract because we are doxed, and you know who we are. Were we to rug it, come after us, okay? That's not going to happen. We need to be able to edit the contract in the future. So, for example, if we end up on a big exchange, we will need to reduce the taxes. We might even need to set those taxes to zero at that point, okay? So we can't renounce the contract. We did lock the LP. We have locked team tokens, so we have 4% of the project as team tokens. There is currently a wallet sat there with 8 million tokens in it. which is for future investment, and I need that unlocked. I might need it on Sunday, let's put it that way. There are private sale. We did have a very small private sale where we raised just under 9 Ethereum. Within that group, there are no whales, so there were 61 contributors. I'm thinking I might be slightly out on that. I think it's 61. The wallet is there to be inspected. If anybody wants to look at it, you can see it. Nobody was allowed to put more than 0.2 ETH into that, and the average contribution was only just over 0.05. So I asked people to either put in 0.05, 0.1, 0.15 or 0.2, okay? And they weren't allowed to do any more than that. Those people had their tokens locked for 48 hours from launch. Now, I hope that should show you guys that those guys that have come into that are very serious about this project, because otherwise you would see all over our Telegram, why no tokens, bro? When tokens? Because they'd want to be selling them on those first few candles, right? They knew that the token would pump, and it went up 23x at one point. So those guys are sat there going, maybe they were sat there going, well, why can I not sell? They were all made aware of what was going on, and they're not getting their tokens until late on Saturday afternoon, okay? My meeting is on Sunday. I suggest they don't dump, okay? I strongly suggest that anybody and they know, right? These are people that follow me, okay? And I'm hoping that a lot of people who end up watching us on here, turning up to what we're doing, understanding what we're doing as a project, getting involved, right? And once you get to know us and trust us, I think you'll find that we are the 1% of the 1%, right? That is not a boast. You show me another project that is this transparent and open in the space. Yes, you might have Charles Hodgkinson riding around on a camel out in the desert somewhere, filming some amazing footage, right? And yes, that's a whole different level of project, right? And Cardano was a project that I invested in for a long time, and a lot of people lost faith because they were so slow to move, right? And people just got bored. Unfortunately, the last bull run came to an end, and the space was bled and is still being bled. The US government is trying to shake everybody out, right? Of course they are. And that's why there's been a lot of pain. We are seeing the green shoots of the next bull run. I think we're positioned perfectly. We waited a long time to get this launch done. I even had people saying to me to delay it last week because obviously there was a dip. We saw Bitcoin come down from about 44 down to 38, and there was a lot of panic and FUD, and a lot of money went over to Solana. There was a lot of activity on Polygon, right? And talking of Polygon, keep an eye out, right? I think it's got a long way to go. Again, not investment advice. I'll have to record none of everything I say is ever investment advice, and we'll pin it in the Telegram. I won't have to keep repeating myself then. But I think we're coming to the point of this AMA. Andy, how long have we been going? I can't tell. I haven't got a timer on.
We're in nearly an hour and we've got a few questions. So
okay.
If you want to move on.
Right. So let's go on to questions if you've got some.
Yeah. I will go through a couple of the questions.
Right. I'm just gonna go on silent and listen because I need a drink. My mouth's gone dry.
Yeah. I'll talk.
Go on.
So Gabby.eth is asking, how is creating a token to promote other AI projects going to push this one along, as I don't see what the real utility of the project is and where it's going to make the value increase. Just wait one moment. She's then gone on to say, it's all relevant, but we keep going very generalised here and off topic, which I disagree with slightly. She's also then said, I'd like to my question answered earlier so I can have a better understanding as I want to read about the project. can you, for the sake of the video, because we get that often people don't want to read, they want to hear it, which is fine. So can you just explain very simply, Simon, say it once, say it well, like I used to do in my ads, so that on this video people can go back and watch in the simplest terms, and we can tag the time, what is the utility? Because we haven't touched upon it, but just really simply go through that, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, there is a ecosystem document on the website if you want to spend time looking at that. If people want me to explain the utility, it's very simple. There will be a lot of AI projects coming. We will identify them as micro caps. Maybe they're already out there and they're along their development pathway. And the projects that we then decide we want to work with, we will give them the voice on YouTube and other social media that we are building to give them massive audiences. Right, the point of recording this video today is that I am going to demonstrate something to the community. So this video needs to be over an hour. I believe it will be shortly. And once it is, we will be able to publish it on our channel, and then I can go to work on it. Now, when you look at the space and you look at, I've got a list of hundreds of crypto-based YouTube channels, all of them supposedly influencers. I saw a project less than 2 weeks ago, paid $30,000 to go onto a YouTube channel of an influencer, and they only got 20,000 views. And I can tell, and this is through me being able to run tools that people don't have access to as a rule, I can tell that the majority of those views are fake. And that channel, albeit that it does have some legitimacy, it does have some proper viewers, it has nothing like what it says it has, okay? And people are getting scammed. So that project that paid $30,000, and any project owners that are listening to this will know this. Most projects have wasted, like we wasted $50,000 on an NFT promotion with some Twitter influencers. We will provide the platform, a genuine platform where people get value for money. So when projects that are identified by us and we want to work with them, we will give them a platform at a fraction of that cost. When they pay us for that, and they will, that money comes and buys back our token. We use a portion of that money as well to invest into those projects because we believe in them at that point. We also use some of our treasury to invest in those projects, and as those projects are successful and grow, we take profit. Those projects will be aware that we're going to do that, but we'll do it ethically, and we will work with them to work on their chart and make sure that, you know, we're not here to destroy someone's business. There will be occasions in the future where we take investments in projects and we own substantial chunks of those projects, and were we to then sell those chunks, we would probably collapse their chart. But when we're taking small investments, maybe we take an investment of $1,000 or $2,000 in a project and it goes 10x, 20x, right? If we take $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 back out of that project as we go along, that money comes back into our treasury. That treasury rebuys our own token, and therefore higher floors are established. Also, a portion of that is used for our own marketing. And as we market our own channel and grow that channel, the channel produces its own revenue as well. And don't be surprised when that channel is generating tens of thousands of dollars a month in ad revenue. And that gets fed back into our chart, into our marketing, and it's an ever-fulfilling circle at that point, because people then will see hundreds of thousands or millions of views on our videos every time we publish them. I looked at a channel today that they say they're some sort of influencer and their average number of views is between 400 and 1,000 views. That doesn't make you an influencer. When we're getting hundreds of thousands of views per video, which we will, that makes us a very, very attractive proposition, and we become the voice in the AI space. So hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, I think there's some other things that we can talk around regarding having a voice within the space, but we can talk about that as a separate video maybe, Simon.
Yeah.
There's some really interesting stuff around that. Now, there is one other question, and I think this one's going to be an interesting one. Zeros ask, how will you solve the MICA regulation and your services being a EU-based token, which is the, those that don't know, the Markets in Crypto Assets Regulation 2013 Act, which came into force in June 23, which is a broad, I love that phrase, EU regulatory framework applicable to crypto assets or persons engaged in those. So how do we level that one, Simon?
That conversation is taking place at the moment. So one of the things that I'm doing on Sunday is seeing somebody that is not based in the EU. So I'll leave it at that for now. Sorry, I won't give much more detail until I actually make an announcement.
Yeah, it's why I said it might be an interesting question, because
yeah, I'm not. What we won't do, we're not going to allude to something. I'm not going to make a statement that I get held onto in the future. Okay, so I appreciate somebody asking that. It's a bit like you're asking me to incriminate myself, right? So until such legal advice is sought, and our advisors give us the exact answer, I won't say publicly. Okay, and I'm not a politician, but being truthful, until my lawyers tell me exactly the way this needs to shape out, I can't. And a lot of that depends on what happens on Sunday. Okay, so I won't say any more at this point, and I hope that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Gary's asked another one. How do you expect to gain so much exposure on YouTube for any project you want to partnership with? You building a YouTube channel from scratch will take a very long time to go and get attention, because we've been running a YouTube agency, Gabby. Yeah.
Because
just touch on.
Yeah, because Andy and I've been a Google partner, not just a Google professional. I've been a Google partner for over 20 years. I have one of the oldest, longest standing Google MCC accounts out there. I think people would probably want to buy my account off me. I could probably sell it for tens of thousands of dollars, just the account, because it's so in such good standing. There are still, I've got probably $2 million a quarter going through that account from customers. I am able to use my skills, things that I know, things that I definitely will not be saying out loud. I will hint to the fact that I know of backdoors in YouTube that I can take advantage of, that I don't think anybody else knows about, because I've been in the space for so long. I stumbled on something, again, I won't say what it is. I stumbled on a loophole which Google will never be able to close. Obviously Google owns YouTube. I am able to rank videos in 24 hours at the top of YouTube. So there's a few people that do that. It's a service that I sell to people. So if you are watching this and you are a project and you want to come to us, I can rank videos at the top of YouTube for pretty much anything. I don't mean I can rank it, like if you asked me to rank a video today for the word crypto, that would obviously be very, very challenging, right? But what you do is you go and find phrases that people are searching for in your topic, and then you rank the video for that. And that's pretty easy, because when we search for certain things, without getting technical, you all know if you search for a video, you'll see several videos, and most of them have been there for years. And the reason they're there is because the content is really good. People engage with it, and when they watch the video, they stick, right? the most important thing in this space is, if you tried to create a website for, let's say, well, we've created a website, right? AI Invest. If you want to rank #1 on Google, as in I mean Web 2 Google search, for the word AI Invest, that will be almost impossible inside 6 months, right? I can genuinely say out loud, I am one of the most knowledgeable search engine professionals in the world. I have worked with people like Neil Patel, Rich Sheffrin, global names, Jay Abraham, right? All these people, and I can make content rank on YouTube more quickly than anyone. The reason that is because it's so hard to rank a website, because it takes months and months, right? I know people, I've done it myself. I've charged people $5,000-$10,000 a month to rank their website. You can, and it won't necessarily get there, right? It's really difficult to get a website to come to the top. I can get it on the front page, get it on the #1, 2, 3 position is super hard, right? With a lot of work. The reason there's not a lot of work on Google YouTube videos is because Google wants fresh meat, right? They want new video content. Back in, I think, 2018, Google made the statement that they would be completely video by 2020. Now, clearly, that didn't happen because none of us want to make video. Nobody wants to put their face on a video, right? Believe it or not. Even when we've worked with huge clients, right? Getting somebody to sit down and go on camera is difficult. All you guys think about, if I said to you, make me a video, right? Sit in front of a camera, make a video. 99% of you will not do it. And the 1% that will do it don't like doing it either, right? Google wants video, and they want it because they realize people want to watch, not read. And they are worried that other search engines get there first. Now, guess what? Things like TikTok are taking traffic away from Google. Traffic goes from Google, Google loses revenue, right? Google's biggest revenue stream are ads, right? Ads at the top of search, ads in YouTube, right? If people start spending all their time on TikTok, where's Google's revenue? So Google want video. They want people because they know that people want to watch stuff. So when you produce new video, the important thing, new video, and you publish it and you get it, they will give you the opportunity to get the audience. It's not like publishing a website. Publish a website today, it'll sit there and it'll just go, hardly anyone on it. You publish a new video, they will give you a go. They will send traffic to it. The important thing then is retention and engagement. And as long as people then stick to the video, it ranks, right? And then they say, wow, here's a great video. People are enjoying it. Well, Google's a robot, right? But that's what Google effectively, I'm paraphrasing, says, right? And it then gets put at the top of the search and other people get to watch it. And the more people watch it, the more it ranks and the longer it stays and the harder it is for somebody else to get past it. So we are going to rank this video. I will demonstrate what we are capable of doing. When this video is published, we will show you, right? I can tell, I'm going to show, and I'm going to prove, right? You wait and see what happens. So those of you that have watched all the way through, you will see.
Good. Well, there's no other questions, Simon. I think you've answered those questions as well as we can do there.
Okay, I just need to be certain that I've gone over an hour.
Yeah, I think you have.
Okay. All right. Well, look.
What time?
Let's just wrap it up with one. Let me just wrap up with one last sentence, right? So, we love our community. We want people to get involved. We hope you trust us, right? We want you to come and join the conversation. The more you come, bring people with you, right? Get them involved in the conversation. Bring them to this community, and let them first maybe direct them to this video And you can say to them, it's over an hour long, go onto YouTube, stick it on 1.5 times and watch me speak like this, and you'll be able to see how fast I can talk, right? But get them to come and learn about the project. Anybody who's fudding or doesn't understand, we have covered an awful lot of it in this hour. There will be sections of this video that you can then direct people to. So for example, you might be able to say, go and watch what Simon says at 27 minutes through the video, right? Because he'll explain to you about how taxes work and how the launch went, etc., etc. I'm not saying it is 27 minutes through, because I don't know, and it will say, right? We will tell you the timings. But please come, right? Bring people, get them to come and invest in this project if you believe, and bring them to the community, because as soon as we hit a critical mass, then it becomes your project. It is your project. It's not just ours. We are not hiding behind some wallets and suddenly you're going to see a massive candle dump, and everyone holds their hands up and goes, oh, sorry chaps, that was one of the influencers that we gave 3% to and they've just killed the project, right? Because I saw that happen to a project this week, right? Which was really unfair, because the people that had the marketing contribution, who had promised to do something in return for some tokens, dumped the whole lot, right? So you won't see that happening with us. And if anything untoward happens, come on and ask us, because we will be here to answer questions honestly. So send people to the website, send people to this video, bring people to our Telegram, because that is where the majority of the conversation will be going on. As we build this out, the YouTube channel will be growing, Discord will grow, X will grow. We've just signed up for X Premium. We will be able to drive a little bit of revenue from that as that grows. If you want to get involved and become part of the team, turn up, contribute, and as you're becoming trusted members, we will bring you on, right? There will be positions. There will be positions for paid people in the future. There are not at the moment. Andy and I and all the others in here are doing this for nothing, right? And none of us has sold a wallet. Some of us have bought, right? I'm not going to say we haven't bought, because I want to buy into my own project. It's one of the mistakes I made in a previous project. I wish I'd bought into it, right? And should have done and did. And now I am, right? So I am buying in my own project. Let's make this happen. This can be amazing, right? Let's do it. Let's go. And I'm not conventional. Sorry. So is that, let's end the recording there, and we'll publish this later today.